I have a Blackwing Matte pencil here and a Blackwing pencil sharpener. And I think this is a great pencil for urban sketching. So I just want to show you how the sharpener works and then show you what a great pencil it is to actually work with. So it's probably a little hard to see on the video, but the sharpener is marked. It says wood and graphite. So you start by sharpening the wood and then you move over and sharpen the graphite. So here's how that works. Okay. This is a brand new pencil, so I've got a little bit of work to do to actually just get the wood going here. A little bit more maybe. By the way, these blades are replaceable. I'll show you in just a second. So as this starts to wear out, you can of course replace the blades. Tiny bit more, bear with me. Okay, now I've got enough graphite out that I can actually sharpen it. Nice. That looks good. So the sharpener, like I said, this is the Blackwing sharpener. It has the two sides and it has the two blades here that you can replace. They sell replacement blades. It's just a little Phillips head screw that pops off there and you can trade out the blades. So that's how the sharpener works. But let's see how it draws. So I've got Stillman Birn Zeta paper here, which is really smooth, beautiful paper. It's actually, I think, terrific paper for doing urban sketching. And this pencil is so just lovely and dark, and the lines just lay down beautifully. It's very, just very smooth. I mean, just gorgeous pencil lines. So I've got a picture here. This is the skyline in Auckland from the water when I was there for the New Zealand, for the Urban Sketching Symposium in 2023. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of block in the shrubs and then just quickly get into some of these buildings. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. I just want to give you a general idea of what this looks like and just how lovely this pencil is to work with. So I'll just do a few of the buildings along this skyline. I'm not actually worried about being too terribly precise here. I'm just trying to get in some basic shapes and just convey a mood. There's a lot of construction cranes in Auckland, and I like drawing construction cranes, so I'm actually gonna, these look kind of funny, but I'm actually gonna show them. I think they're sort of cool. I'm skipping around a little bit here because I'm really just looking for interesting shapes to draw that can also show you how nice this pencil is. And so then, of course, it wouldn't be New Zealand if we didn't really think about this. Let me see. I just love how dark and dramatic this pencil is. You can just see how really terrific that is. Get in a few of these details. There's not a ton of variety in these buildings, I have to say, but it's still fun to kind of draw them in and just suggest all these different shapes. Oh, I just love how dark and just really great this pencil is. And one of the reasons I want to just keep going with this is to give you an idea of how long you can draw before you have to sharpen it again, so that it doesn't really slow you down that much. One thing I haven't done is shown you what some really light lines can be. So I'll do a few just lighter lines there, just to give a sense of that as well. Okay, and then in the foreground here, there's like a beach, which I've just represented with a few lines. And then there's these really dark trees. And so I'm just gonna sort of like, kind of just like hatch those in. And again, for me, a lot of this is just about seeing like how long does this pencil even go on one before I have to stop and sharpen it again. So I'm really going to let this be very dark in the foreground, like it is in the photograph, like it was in the actual scene, just to kind of get a sense of that. And it's actually like pretty good, right? I still have quite a bit of pencil left. So I'm just going to look for more details I can put in just to sort of keep going with it. There's another building over here. There's just a whole bunch of like really short buildings down here. More cranes. Oh, there's actually, now that I'm looking, there's actually kind of a lot of these cranes. Yes, Auckland is a city that is under construction. Well, I love the way this looks. And it would look great with a splash of watercolor on top of it too. There's no reason not to do that. I can see some little trees off in the distance, so I'm just gonna sort of suggest that you can actually see trees in the foreground here and there. Just to give a little variety. I think that looks pretty great. Okay, so there's the pencil. You can see I've still got a bit left. I really wouldn't need to stop and sharpen. If I didn't want to, I could keep going with this for a while. I also just want to, let's look at the eraser and let's see what the eraser can do. So like I smudged a little bit as I was drawing here. So I'll first see if I can get some of those smudges up. Does okay. Honestly, in a sketchbook, I don't really like these kinds of erasers. I'd rather use a gum eraser that doesn't leave these little fragments. But here's a really dark area. I drew pretty hard. Let me just see how much of it comes up. I wouldn't expect it to come all the way up. I mean, this is a very soft, this is the softest graphite of all the Blackwings. So it's really going to lay down a lot of graphite, and it's not going to want to come up easily. But with this eraser, you know, like I can clean up some of these smudges, which I guess is nice. But yeah, these super dark areas, they're not going to come back up. That's not what this pencil's for. This pencil is really for doing a drawing where you're pretty sure what you're going to draw it, you're going to get it down, and you're going to move on. You know, you're not going to. This is not for drafting and making little corrections kind of pencil. This is for when you have a pretty good idea of what you're already doing and you want to come in and be pretty assertive with it and really get it done. But for that, I think this is absolutely terrific. I love it. I'll also mention that they do sell kind of like a point guard, so you can keep like a little cap on this pencil if you want, so you can throw it in a bag and not worry about your nicely sharpened point breaking off. But anyway, I think it's a terrific pencil, and I like the pencil sharpener, so give those a try. And check out my channel. Feel free to subscribe, give this a like if you enjoyed it, and also I send out art tutorials that you can get in your inbox once a week, and I'll put info below if you would like to subscribe. Thanks very much.